Hi there, this is Bonnie and I'm here to talk about the buttonhole stitch and a variation of it called the buttonhole wheel. You might also know this as the blanket stitch. It's a pretty stitch that forms either parallel or radiating lines with a twisted edge along the outside. So it's perfect for outlining different shapes. And it can be worked with the stitches close together and used as more of a fill stitch or more spread apart depending on the look you want. So you can also see here that these straight stitches can be done in different lengths and varying lengths for different effects and different looks. So let's go ahead and get started with a demonstration of it. I've drawn a few guidelines here. Okay, this stitch works really great with the sewing method. So here's what we'll do here. I'll start on the top line. And then I'm going to use this purple guide for the bottom. And you just go perpendicular to these lines, these guidelines, okay? So I'm going to go straight up, and then I'm going to tuck that working thread underneath that needle. Then pull, and I pull down towards the fabric up towards the top until you close up the slack. Then I hold that working thread out of the way, and again, place the needle back in on that guideline and back up in that perpendicular position. So slide underneath and up. Now, if you want to vary the lengths, you would simply start lower on this other line, but the rest of it is the same. You go straight up to the top, tuck that thread underneath, and in the back I'm just pushing up at towards the point of the needle so that it creates this gap underneath. Makes it easier to slide the working thread under. And to make it varied, you can go up and down between the two guidelines that were drawn. So the trick is, while you're stitching this, if you're working a curve, you want to maintain that perpendicular alignment with your guide line. Okay, so when you finish, you'd go back and tack that down and tie it off in the back. So let's say we want to work it in a curve over here. I'm again making the needle perpendicular to this line. I'm not going to go all the way around. You get the idea, I think. Because when I show you the buttonhole wheel, you'll see it kind of make a sharper curve. So you see how these vertical lines start to kind of radiate out. They're not quite as evenly spaced down here as they are up here. So the buttonhole wheel is a fun variation of the buttonhole, and that's just worked in the round. You can do that in concentric circles, or you can do that where these points all meet in the center. So I'm going to show you the center one. And the only difference if you were doing something where you wanted to leave an opening in the middle is you would maybe make a second circle inside here, and then they would all come up from this smaller circle. So I'm going to start following the line of the circle. And come up. And then I go back down at that center point. And then what you're going to do is you're going to think of it as all of these lines are going to radiate around this center dot. So you can position your needle and sort of cut it in half. You see how you have this space on either side of the needle? Okay, then your working thread goes under, just like in the regular straight buttonhole, or curved buttonhole as well. And then you go right back towards the center, into the center, and then turn it. And depending on how closely you lay these stitches, so if you wanted it to be less open, you would just put it a little closer. I'm going to have them a little more spaced out. So again, you see how I kind of maintain that halfway point. And you repeat this going all the way around. When you get back to the beginning, all you do is go underneath that first stitch and back down the center. And tie off in the back. So there you have it, the buttonhole, some variations on it, and the buttonhole wheel. So hope you have fun with this stitch because it's a really great one with a lot of versatility. Play around with it. This one's done in some variegated thread, so it's really fun to experiment with it and see what kind of looks you can get. Thanks for watching. Bye.